Hi, and welcome to the Free Your Spirit podcast. I'm your guide, Carole Frey, founder of Free Spirited Wanderer, a conscious wellness business of yoga retreats, lifestyle coaching, and yoga teacher mentorship. In this podcast, we explore conscious business, yoga on and off the mat, and general lifestyle. Our aim is to help you live a more fulfilling and purposeful life. Whether you're an entrepreneur, yoga student, yoga teacher, or simply someone looking to make positive changes in your daily life. Join us as we share insights, tips, and stories to inspire you on your path to a more free-spirited life. So sit back, relax, and let's embark on a journey of self-discovery, adventure, and expansion. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Free Your Spirit podcast. I'm your host, Carole Frey. I am coming to you today from the Amalfi Coast, Italy. I have been leading 2 retreats back to back here. I've been here since May 5th, and today is May 17th that I'm recording this. And you might be able to tell that my voice sounds a little bit different today. And I've been losing my voice from teaching so many classes and just interacting with so many people the past 2 weeks. So this is where I'm at right now. And we are staying at this amazing villa right outside of Sorrento. So I had 2 retreats, like I said. The first one, or both of them, have been 7 days long. And we have just 3 days left of the second retreat. So I basically wanted to come on here today because we actually missed last week's episode. And, I had this whole plan that we were going to record here and I would just be in, the energy of Italy and the energy of the retreat. And I was really excited to find the space to record. And last Wednesday, which is usually when I record, I found myself very exhausted, right? After, we started our retreat on Saturday. And, it's been very busy. So we have yoga classes in the morning, and our yoga sessions consist of journaling, meditation, pranayama, yoga asana, and just some connection with one another. And then the evenings have been different workshops. We've gone over the 4 desires, which is something I've learned from Rod Stryker. This is basically known as the Purusharthas, and it is the purpose of the soul. It teaches us that our soul has these 4 goals. And we've also been just discussing Ayurveda and just kind of some deeper yoga philosophy discussions as well. And we've also had some really long excursion days. We have Capri nearby, Positano, the Path of the Gods, which we actually didn't get to do last week due to the weather, but we did another really cool local hike. And it's been a very busy retreat. And we have, if you've ever been to Europe, the dinners are a little bit different here. So we've had these 4-course meals that start at 7 p.m. and they've been going until about 10 p.m. And there's just been nonstop food. It's been absolutely incredible. And, the wine keeps pouring here and just the conversation is really good. All the people have been really amazing. So I've also been going to bed so much later than I'm used to. And I think a lot of you know that, I abide by these Ayurvedic practices and I typically eat dinner by 5 p.m. and I'm getting ready for bed by 8 p.m., asleep by 9 and waking up at 4:30 for my Ashtanga practice. And it's been very different here. I've had some nights that I'm up until 11, 12, even 1 a.m. and then waking up to teach some of these classes and also, trying to get my own personal practice in. And I think perhaps a lot of you know too that I really believe in, practicing before I teach as well. And I've had to, adjust. I've had to go with the flow to be a little bit more flexible here and have shorter practices in the morning. Even some mornings it's been very, very short of just a 5-minute meditation and not even the yoga asana because I've been trying to learn how to really preserve my energy and take care of myself so I can, lead the best classes and I can go out on these excursions and continue to connect with one another. So it's been very different for me and I've been enjoying it so much and everyone's been having just such a great time. And like I said, the company has been really good. So It's just been a beautiful experience. However, I guess I'm coming on here basically just to share from this like humanness and this realness and just say that, I'm tired. And, last week of missing this podcast episode, I felt like a failure. And I was like, oh my gosh, I said every Thursday there's going to be a new episode. I've only had 6 weeks of this and 6 episodes out, and I've already, failed myself and failed my listeners. And, I had something going through my head. I was like, well, maybe I don't even have that many listeners yet. Maybe no one will notice, whatever like that. And it's funny because in the second week, when the next group got here on Saturday on the 13th, one of the participants actually asked my husband, Scott, where my podcast episode was from last Thursday. And I was like, oh, there are people listening out there. And, that made me very happy. But it was also like, okay, let's get back on track with this. And I wanted to just share that, life is hard and this entrepreneurship path is hard. And I'm really in the stage of so many transitions. And if you followed along with me for a while now, or just even recently, you might have seen just a lot of the transitions. And, last year I had 4 retreats and this year I have 7 retreats. And, I'm really learning how to navigate all of this, how to find the balance between this. Also moving into these different areas of expansion. And my husband, Scott Kiefer, is now officially an employee of Free Spirited Wanderer, and he is our vibe curator. And if you've ever been lucky enough to be around him, you know that he truly does bring all of the vibes. He makes everyone laugh and smile. He makes them feel so safe and comfortable and supported. And I just really, really love seeing that. And he's been a really huge help for me this week as well, taking care of some of the logistics, just being in great communication with the participants of what they need, connecting with Michaela here, who is our host for the yoga retreat in Amalfi. And he's been absolutely incredible. And, there's also an element for me that I'm learning to let go of some of this control and letting go of some of the, these are the things that I always do. And there's a part of me that feels weird not doing them. And, I even sent out the schedule last week or the other day. I sent out the schedule to everyone the night before. Just so we can all stay on top of everything if anything changes on retreats, because again, we just have to be flexible if the weather changes, things shift, anything. And I went to send out the schedule and I get a side text from Scott saying that he already did it. And I looked up a couple texts above and I saw that he already sent it. And I was like, oh, I'm so not used to having this. And it was really awesome. And he's just been doing an incredible job. So, I'm just trying to share that there's a lot of changes going on, a lot of things that I'm learning to adjust with and to find this balance. And it's this balance of how can I take care of myself right now and how can I take care of the people on these retreats, right? How can we nourish one another? And that was, really the reason that I decided not to do the episode last week, because my priority right now is the participants that are here, right? It's this retreat. It's being in this, being so incredibly present with it. And I had to really make that decision to place my energy there. In yoga, we talk about brahmacharya, this energy conservation. What is the best use of my time and energy? Where can I place this in a really impactful and purposeful way? And again, I had to make that decision to not do this podcast episode last week and to save that energy for the participants that are here. So I'm really coming on here also just as a reminder to have grace for yourself, to remember to take care of yourself. And, it's funny too, because I just have to remember all of these things that I teach, right? And it's so important as teachers that we practice what we preach. And just before leaving here, I created this course, Fill Your Cup mini course, and it's a virtual course, and I launched it the day before we left for Italy. And it's this course that teaches you how to fill your cup and how to move through your days with more self-love, more purpose, and more meaning. and just more connection as well. And all these different practices that have really, helped me over the years that I wanted to put together to share with other people, like these beautiful ancient and modern teachings of yoga and Ayurveda, even just playlists, recipes. So it's just really a course to like guide you back home and to fill your cup up so you can be like overflowing with this love, this abundance, this, energy, passion, whatever it is you're seeking in your life. It's how can we fill ourselves up with that, allow it to overflow, and then share that with others from that space of overflow. And I've had to remind myself to fill my cup up too, because I can't pour from an empty cup. And again, like as I'm living this retreat and experiencing this retreat right along with the participants, I have to continually connect back to my heart, connect back to my teachings, what I share with others. So it's been a really great reminder for me. And also on this retreat, we really talked about, I mentioned before, the 4 desires. And one of these desires is kama. It's pleasure. It's the fact, it's the remembrance that life is meant to be enjoyed and that there's all this pleasure out there that, we learn how to experience this pleasure with self-awareness, moderation, and non-attachment. And a big way that we can do this is just being present with pleasure, just like really leaning into the present moment, finding that joy and that love. And again, these are the things I've had to remind myself is, oh yes, I need to be present with where I am. Let me be present with this group, present with Amalfi Coast. So just all these reminders that I've had to like really connect back to my heart, and all of these came up from that fear of being a failure, of being seen as a failure, of being seen as inconsistent, or, oh, she already missed an episode, she overpromised, she's not giving what she said. And I'm sure some of these are a story that I create, or if some of it's true, if other people have had those thoughts, I want to come on here and share that I am a human and I am living the human experience. And, our teachers, our mentors, our coaches are really learning right alongside with us. And that is something I'm continually doing, is walking this path, which each and every one of you, each and every one of the students and participants that join these retreats. And everyone along our way is also our teacher too. So as I continue to walk this path, I continue to gain more wisdom, more clarity in the direction that I'm going and of what I need to do in the present moment. So there's a part of me that, I was like, do I give an apology for missing last week? And I don't think it needs to be an apology, but I think it's just coming on here and sharing, like, allowing this to be a lesson and a teaching that I can share on here and say like, hey, I'm human and I'm figuring all of this out. I'm in this state of transition and I'm learning how to move through it. So if you are, on this entrepreneurial journey, or you're also just like in this stage of transition, just remembering to give grace to yourself, continue to take care of yourself, like fill your own cup first, because you cannot pour from this empty cup. And remembering what your priorities are, remembering the best use of your time and energy, where can you place that right now, and what is going to be of service to yourself and more importantly to others, or not more importantly, like we matter just as much as our work does or as our clients do. So let me back that up. So it's reminding ourselves that we matter. And again, like taking care of ourselves the same way that we take care of others. And if, you're in this state of transition and, really working on filling your own cup, I definitely recommend checking out my mini course. It's filled with meditations and pranayama practices and yoga practices. It teaches you how to find rituals within your life, how to build a morning and evening routine, and how to feel really empowered. So I will drop the link in the show notes for you if you feel like that is something that is calling to you right now or that you need. And so I just wanted to come on here with just, something again from my heart and really just sharing this space of vulnerability and, just showing up of where I am right now within this moment. And it's something that I think is really important, within the world, as we find our teachers and mentors and coaches and the people out there, having this like truth and this rawness and this vulnerability, I think is really important. So I wanted to come on here, from the space that I'm in right now, the energy that I'm in right now. And I had to let go of the expectations that I had for this original episode and let go of any attachment to what I thought it was going to be. Like I said, I was like, oh, I'm going to film this episode in Italy. It's going to be so badass. I'm just going to be this like ball of energy and fire and light. And I can't wait to share from that space. And, instead I had to muster up every bit of energy inside of me to come on here and record this. But I thought it was important because, again, I just want to share from the space that I am in right now and just share who I am, like what I'm experiencing right now. And a reminder that, there's challenges and obstacles that get in our way and life is hard and all of it just makes us, a better version of ourselves. We get to remind ourselves that we are our own greatest teacher as well. So to summarize everything, I am really loving Italy. I'm loving this retreat, and I'm loving that this gets to be just, a time for me to anchor back into these teachings as well, and to anchor back into just like where I am right now, to hold space for myself, to find compassion and grace, and to share from that space rather than always feeling like, I only can share when I'm really energetic and happy and lit up and just like full of life. And like, yes, I am. It's just in a different way right now. So holding space for that. And, my prayer is that you hold space for yourself in these moments as well. And just show up to your best, show up to the best of your ability each and every day. So thank you for tuning in. I will be back on next week. I'm committing to getting back into this. I'm excited to share a little bit more about Italy with you, about Scott coming on as a full-time employee. I'm really excited about that. He's just been absolutely crushing it in Italy. And it's just like really nice to have, my husband on my team and on my side. And, part of our vows when we got married, we just talked about being a power couple, and I'm really excited that we get to bring this to life in a whole new way. And I feel really blessed that I get to lead these retreats and travel all over the world, and that my husband is right by my side, and that we get to, build this life together and share this space with others. So thank you so much for listening. Again, continue to tune in, continue to see what else we have in store with Free Spirited Wanderer. I'm going to give like a great recap of this Italy retreat. I talked about it a little bit here, just from this space today. But just have a great day or evening wherever you are in the world. And I hope until next week or until we connect again, you continue to show up as your truest, most authentic self. Ciao from Italy.